Welcome back to the Western Clash. We are gearing up for potentially the last game in this series as we have leftovers up 2-0. I have to go over to J-How because he's our NA dude here. Can North America come back?
Yes, definitively yes. We are known for going to 5 games. We love it. Not as much as Europe does because they just play really slow. This team, leftovers though, not so much. They are bringing it. And Octalysis seems to have their number in the early game team fights. It's just 2 late game missteps. It could easily be 2-0 the other way. Let's keep it into perspective.
We like to use the word methodical. Let's go to battleground number 3 here in this best of 5 series to see if Octalysis can turn this around. We are going to BOE leftovers with the choice. Octalysis will have first pick.
The leftovers map choice. Once again, we've already talked about how much leftovers like to fight. And who was it earlier who called this like the arena of death in the center of the map? Someone was that you?
That was
I'll take
me.
credit. Let's do it.
I love that.
I love it as well. Can't remember who said it.
Me.
It was you.
No, it was me.
It was literally me. Well, for Octalysis, this is familiar territory, a battleground where they've taken heavy melee compositions on here before. They've also played the Li Ming. They've also played the Sergeant Hammer. And if anything from that game earlier, leftovers, we were 20 minutes in and both teams were level 17. I think for the sake of everybody, let's hope they ban it.
I got a weird question for you. When we see these super heavy melee compositions in North America, what is the counter in the North America region? What do they pull out? Because I think Kelthos, Ragnaros, these heroes that get this big amount of damage putting out there could be solid pickups.
Did you just hit us with Kelthos?
Yeah, Kelthos.
He's like, I didn't get enough fire because there was no lava wave, so I must get some extra fire.
Mimic Bomb against 4 melees, it's the hot.
Well, Octalysis took no time banning Diablo from Opsio.
Yep. Slightly less fire.
By the way, the answer has generally been fight fire with fire, but since the meta's kind of shifted to Diablo, the Earthquakes of the world with the Phoenix do make it, I think, more intimidating, I think, to go into that style of play.
Okay. We'll see if we get more melee here. Diablo and Medivh taken away. We've seen a couple of Genjis banned in this series so far. Yeah,
especially after Leftovers' performance earlier. It's going to be the Maiev ban first, though. The Genji's an interesting one on this map, a move pioneered by MLEC in China. Genjis on this map can actually leap over the center wall and kill the middle fountain, which can really disrupt the rotation of the team. He is absolutely the one to blame for your Hero League woes.
Now everyone's doing that. You'll have a Murky throwing Pufferfish randomly for the wells. What are you doing over there? Calm down, dude.
And we have it.
What Trixler doesn't say is that it's actually him on the Murky.
This is not good. Why do people do this? Hanzo comes out, though. How did he slip through the draft?
League play globally between our league regions, 15-4 overall. One of the highest win rates for a hero on any battleground with that many games played.
On this map as well. It's so insane being able to burn down the Immortal that quickly. One of the only few heroes who can race against him would be maybe Greymane in Worgen form or Reyna with Exterminator, and that's such a rare talent because you lose so much teamfight damage.
Crowan ran that on Raynor, I believe, in week 5, maybe
quick,
week 4, yeah. And then I asked him about it earlier this week, and he said, "Oh, he's like, it's still pretty strong.
Yeah.
It actually puts out a surprisingly large amount of damage."
They believe actually in a vacuum, but Hanzo versus Raynor, they think Raynor can actually edge out Hanzo a little bit, especially before level 7 with that scatter arrow. There goes the game.
Oh boy.
Sergeant Hammer for 2nd and 3rd pickup. We are getting another Sergeant Hammer game, and it's against the leftovers on BOE.
Do you like Immortal race? Because Octalysis certainly do, and they have some amazing tools for this, as well as some fantastic poke. It's all about their front line now, because if their front line is not up to par, then Hammer and Hanzo are incredibly vulnerable to that much potential damage. Although Octalysis, they can potentially move a little bit of poke that could disrupt the front line in the form of the Chromie right now. Not the best Immortal racer, but fantastic at taking out Sergeant Hammer, as we already saw earlier today.
I love the Garrosh ban.
Yeah.
You think about heroes that can protect that style of play, and Garrosh does it best. Now all of a sudden you run into Johanna. Where does your backline control? Does Blaze get picked up here by leftovers? Because you need control to defend that backline. A Hanzo and a Hammer together, very vulnerable, very susceptible. Yes, you have the slows, the roots, the knockback of Hammer, but you need more than that from your front line.
Leftovers maybe thinking about taking that Blaze away, and there it is. Yeah, just want to make sure that's not given over Team Octalysis. Want to make sure that their protection is limited. Not Furion coming out as well.
What if I hit you with this crazy one?
Hit me. Not physically.
I mean,
he's far away, it's fine.
Probably wouldn't do that. But we look at protection. ETC is either the second one or our old friend Arthas.
Arthas, not so much. I'm with you on the ETC.
Johanna.
I don't like it.
So I quite like the ETC as you were considering earlier, due to the fact that Johanna, she's very good at blocking a lot of hits, but she can struggle a little bit.
I would have
with
taken ETC as my second warrior.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She can suffer a little bit in terms of direct quick peel. So ETC can actually fill in that role very effectively. He's fantastic with face melt to protect hammers and Hanzos. But in this case, Dahaka's solid frags and isolations could still be very punishing. And he offers a counter backline engage as well.
We know Malfurion is far more vulnerable now than he used to be without that ice block. I remember at mid-season Brawl, there was basically a game carried by Dahaka on this battleground against the Malfurion. We do get the Lee-Ming at the end of that, so Poke to counter potentially that Sergeant Hammer, but also does offer a decent amount of race potential on this battleground. With that much range, I really wonder when we're going to see any type of change-up, if ever, at the level 7. Obviously, Calamity plus level 13, you get the range.
Yeah.
But even Seeker, at some point, I start to wonder if that used to be the meta.
For
Calamity
the race,
didn't really...
especially.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. I think it'll be standard, but if there was a time, a draft that you're going against, to think outside of the box.
I thought you were going down the ore build route for a second. No.
That too.
Not so much. Seeker, I could see work out, though, if you want to part from afar. But before we jump into game number 3, Tetcher, who do you like more in draft?
Looking at these drafts, I think that Leftovers have a really solid setup and a lot of backline punishment. If they can just wrap around Johanna, I think she's going to struggle to peel, as we already mentioned. So I'm leaning towards Leftovers.
Well, let's go to game number 3 and see if Leftovers can close this out, or if we'll have Octalysis turn the series around. Over to Kala and Caldor.
And we're pretty hyped for this one. As we see the second bans coming in, we actually talked a bit about Blaze taking it away from Octalysis. Seemed like a guarantee to make Hammer pretty vulnerable here. And I really love the draft that we're currently seeing here on the side of Leftovers.
Without the Medivh or a Blaze to stop the onslaught of the Leftovers onto that Sergeant Hammer, I'm a little bit concerned that Team Octalysis won't have the tools to stop that sort of damage from coming through.
I mean, it's a 2-0. This is really the last chance for Octalysis to start turning it around, or they will be out of the Western Clash here, as we are heading into game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. And on the left side, in blue, we have Potiboss. This time on Blaze, DAB on Lee-Ming, as we have linked. Not on Deckard Kane for the first time, Malfurion instead, and Blake Kidney finds himself on Phoenix. Mopsio on Murden. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leftovers.
On the right in red is Team Octalysis. Can they hang on? We got Prismaticus playing Sergeant Hammer. Draded on that Hanzo. Justing on Johanna. We got Buds playing that support. Of course, he's on the Deckard Kane. And Goku rounding out the draft on Dahaka.
So far, the two teams have been neck on neck. This is definitely one of those games that could now be either a 1-1 or even a lead for Octalysis. But the Leftovers clutching out these wins, especially in the late game. They are looking to make this a quick 3-0. But Octalysis is going to have very different plans here. And they have a draft that can definitely make it work. They have a lot of race with Hanzo. They have Sergeant Hammer for zone control. They definitely have tools.
As J-House stated on the analyst desk, the fact that Hanzo is, I believe he's at 15-4 in league play on this map in particular, that definitely just spells the fact that Team Octalysis have the draft to make this comeback in the series.
Of course, with Lee-Ming, once that you start getting your kills, those resets are going to be absolutely brutal. And there's also a lot of one-shot potential here from Leftovers if they're able to connect the Stormbolt on Murden's side, or maybe even a jet propulsion. Already trying to hit that in. And we have a bit of an adjustment. We've actually seen it on Tempo Storm's side, I believe, the last time for Malfurion.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's Shando's Clarity, the level 1 talent choice for Malf, because it synergizes very well with DAB on that Lee-Ming. Not only do you get the mana, but you also get the cooldown regeneration. So he's going to be able to throw those spells more frequently, look for the poke onto Team Octalysis. I personally really like this change-up.
Already, Mopsio looking for these Stormbolts, not finding them just yet. And we actually have, in this case, Blaze at the bottom lane, and not at the top where you would expect him. It's Phoenix who takes that over, and that makes Dahaka's life actually incredibly difficult. It is so annoying as a melee side laner to face off against a ranged hero.
Very interesting change-up by the Leftovers. They just don't want to lose anything, speaking of which, the drag lands. But again, it doesn't really matter. As long as that shield is still there, yeah. Phoenix is going to be perfectly fine.
Exactly. You just play around the shield the entire time, and that puts you in a really great spot here. And at the bottom lane, it allows a little bit more CC to be stacked for Leftovers. So if they get that engaged through a Murder and Stormbolt and can follow it up with Roots and Jet Propulsion, that will threaten Prismaticism on Sergeant Hammer.
Leftovers with the rotate top as well, picking up this camp, but at the same time, Team Octalysis recognize that, and they are on the bottom side Khazra camp. So we're just seeing a trade out for both of these teams. However, we have to talk about the fact that at level 7, Team Octalysis' Hanzo gets that never outmatched talent, which allows him to race the objectives so very fast. Leftovers know this. If they can get a little bit of an advantage in the early game, it can really help them.
Yeah, Blakidney going up against Goku here, and I really feel for Goku. Every time I play a solo lane, I just hate my life when I go up against range. And Phoenix is going to put him under a lot of pressure here, and already attempts to get some structure damage into, maybe even get a tower, maybe 2 break through the wall, make it easier for later on pushes, and net them a bit of a lead in experience.
So, the way these Immortals are going to play out, Team Octalysis want the slow fights. They want Hanzo to be able to get that chunk damage with his scatter arrow. They want the Sergeant Hammer to get value. They're also the ones with the global. So Dehaka can sit in the side lane, generate additional value for Team Octalysis. However, on the other side, Leftovers, they want to find fast fights. They want to find that Stormbolt, that instant blow up off of the root. If they can do this against Team Octalysis, they'll be very, very successful. But last time we saw Leftovers on this map, they had a lot of difficulties.
At least against up to level 10, that's definitely going to hold true. I feel afterwards we're going to see them a little bit more relaxed because Dehaka is not going to get that massive lead for you. Usually the idea behind the Dehaka composition here is that you get the earlier 10 and then translate that into an advantage. But Li Ming can of course poke quite easily as well. We already have now a bit of a skirmish happening here, but there's still Phoenix at the top, and now finally Blaze making the rotation from the bot lane after pushing the lane out, keeping the Dehaka there a bit longer, and they are looking for the engage against Sergeant Hammer, and they're getting it currently.
Yeah. A little bit of damage going over to Hammer, but the trade value onto Mopsio as well. But keep in mind, folks, this is Murden, so he's going to be able to scale or heal up a little bit. But again, I have to reiterate, the fact that Leftovers is forcing the issue in this early game is so important because once Team Octalysis gets level 7, everything is different.
And so far, they're winning the race here. They're trying to catapult it forward towards the halftime show, and that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, so far, the way that they have just forced up onto Team Octalysis' Immortal has been absolutely fantastic. Now, Octalysis pushing in, getting double jet propulsion on the bottom side of this fight. They're looking for more damage. Party Boss is the focus of Octalysis, but they actually just want to walk away at this point, but that leaves Leftovers to start the race. Yeah,
Mopsio missed the Stormbolt there, so they were looking to even get a kill in, but they couldn't secure it. Now we're having Johanna moving in deep with the Iron Skin, trying to get some value, but also the race on again. Goku comes in from behind, eats the Stormbolt, no drag from him. And right now, Li Ming is just going to get that value. We always see someone trying to block these shots here, but over time that's going to whittle down these hit point pools. And Blakidney is moving to the top to find an angle towards the Immortal. And there we have it. They're going to take the first one for sure.
Yeah, and that's a 50% shield just about for the Leftovers. First objective going over themselves. Mopsio jumping in, trying to find a pick, but not able to get that Stormbolt.
And all of that happening before level 7. Yeah. Just now the extra talent comes in. You've been talking a bit about how it really just emphasizes the race potential of Hanzo on Octalysis' side a bit more. But especially when we're looking towards Leftovers, that level 7, calamity for Li Ming. It's such a game changer. One of the most important, if not the most important talent for her.
Absolutely agree. Leftovers with the excellent early game so far, despite the composition that they're up against, are pushing in with this Immortal. Not only do they want the bottom wall, they want the fort as well.
And they're going for it. Already Blaze is starting to rotate down. They want to turn this into a 5 versus 4. Dehaka, on the other hand, burrows in and is a bit quicker here. But we have the drag connecting with Mopsio. Linked is keeping him alive here as we're having them pushing for the fort again. DAB with a nice position at the side here, shooting some arrows and, of course, some orbs into that back line.
If a little bit more damage landed on Dreded, that could have spelled certain doom for the Shimada Archer. But meanwhile, Team Octalysis pushing back in. They want to find DAB. Look at Mopsio on the side.
Jumps in, goes in deep, but now he's exposed. The rest of the team has to follow up here. Thunder claps his way through, and the Stormbolt still available here. But they take the camp. They're able to steal it away.
Sorry.
Bold move.
Yeah, Blakidney there was so very low. Team Octalysis pushed in, but Mopsio, again, always so controlling on these warrior picks. He's been one of my favorite players to watch in this tournament so far. He's been playing very, very, very well.
That was still a moment where you have to worry a bit for him. Yeah. Jumping in, having no escape tool ready, pre-13 and 10, Avatar healing static not available. Blakidney here in under pressure as he warps out barely. Leftovers definitely towing the line, but so far they hold.
Yeah. And meanwhile, this entire time, Leftovers are pushing in the top lane with Blaze, and we do see Sergeant Hammer rotating up, but she's a little bit slower in the rotation. Team Octalysis did brush stock to the bottom lane, so they got their solo down there now.
Perfect move here as well. The first thing that Blaze did after pushing out the lane is he interrupts the rotation. He moves a bit down and stops Sergeant Hammer from rotating in. If you pull that little maneuver off, you will always deny a few minions to your opponent as they have to take the long way around. And over time, that nets you a significant lead, and you can see that right now in experience. It's of course because the towers at the bot lane were taken down, but also because we see these subtle moves on the leftover side that they will hit the early heroic ability on level 10.
Exactly, a few minions here and there add up to a wave, which is huge. Leftovers at that level 10 point are going to be able to position aggressively onto this Immortal and start chunking down the Immortal of Octalysis, but you can never discount that Hanzo on the bottom side getting a lot of damage in himself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is really one of the big strengths if you have a Hanzo on your composition on Battlefield of Eternity, and we can see it there. If you think about the huge advantage for Leftovers, and you just take a look at the hit points on the Immortals, they are not too far apart. Octalysis is doing a great job here, but the problem is that now Leftovers can take the aggressive position here, move in, and Octalysis needs to be very, very careful that they're not getting attacked.
Yeah, Leftovers pushing in, getting some damage onto this Immortal. Team Octalysis do not want to give this one up for free. There goes the scroll of ceiling, but it's going to whiff, not hit anybody. And meanwhile, the entire time, DAB just throwing spells at this Immortal. Again, a sizable lead on the health bars for the Immortals on the side of Leftovers.
Leftovers a little bit reluctant. Here comes the jump finally, pulling the trigger and going in, trying to get a kill, maybe against Johanna, but at least secure the Immortal, and that's what they get. Just before Leftovers are up against an opponent that also has level 10 abilities, they're able to secure the objective, but Octalysis will at least have their heroics for the defense.
And this should be a double fort play for the Leftovers, and as we know about the structure and experience reallocation, that's going to be a sizable lead for the Leftovers. We saw Blaze already pushing down bottom. Okay, he's not actually going to stay down there. I thought perhaps he was going to stay for a little bit longer, maybe challenge the Haka, try to stun that brush stock.
I actually think they are afraid that Octalysis is going to engage aggressively, because that's what Octalysis has been done the entire time. And here comes Goku, hits the isolation, it's on Phoenix, they're going for him. Tranquility is out, here comes the bunker, they're saving Phoenix. The Lord Nano even being dropped here, but it's not enough value. Now the turnaround attempts, we are once again seeing the Leftovers going in. In the meantime, the Immortal's still doing work. Goku is low, but he connects the drag. Oh, the root is huge! Jet propulsion, the root follow-up, and where's the Storm Ult? There we have it, and down goes Deckard Cain.
Sergeant Hammer falls on the backside as well, the stun up as well onto Johanna. She's got the Iron Skin, but it is not enough, ladies and gentlemen. Justin falls, everyone is dying, 4 people die for Team Octalysis. Look how, the Immortal's not that healthy at this point, but still Leftovers, they're gonna be able to get this wall. They might even be able to rotate into the bottom lane with that wave and pick up another fort.
Octalysis is at this point predictable in their aggression. They will always look for that fight, no matter what. One of the main reasons why Blaze rotated to the top this early. You were talking about his potential play for the second fort at the bot lane, but Leftovers said from the get-go, guys, he is going to go top. He is going to try and look for that fight. So they rotate Blaze top. It's a 5 versus 5 just behind the Immortal. And the save on Phoenix through Tranquility and the bunker after the isolation hits, that's really what turned the fight. So many resources used by Octalysis. They can't get the kill, then the turnaround, and then the constant resets on Liming.
And it's like, Octalysis, you want to take fights? Fine, we'll just fight you and beat you instead. Instead of having the Blaze down there and you pick up a fort, we'll just kill you, then go get the fort afterwards. Why not?
And now it's a 2-level lead.
Yeah.
A talent advantage in the 2-level lead with 4 kills against 0. Leftovers are in a fantastic spot to make this a 3-0.
And Caldor, we got, again, against a Hanzo, the fact that Leftovers has taken both of the Immortals so far in this game is absolutely huge. Like, that's insane. You usually do not see that against Hanzo.
A lot of it, in my opinion, comes down to them switching Blick Kidney on Phoenix up to the top lane. It really forced the Haka back. They got 2 towers through this, a small advantage in experience, but it translated into a very, very early heroic ability. And also, by the same token, them moving Phoenix top, move Blaze down to the bottom. That made it so much harder for Sergeant Hammer to get value trying to siege up here, because she was up against very hit point heavy heroes that could stun her and get that CC chain going. So that little small move from Leftovers from the start of the game really added up, and now they find themselves in a massive lead here.
I've been critical of the Leftovers when it comes to their macro gameplay. The fact that they have set up this entire map from start to finish in this game is huge. They have adapted so very well in this tournament, but Octalysis, they need to get level 13 to try to defend this one. Leftovers are moving in.
I really like also that we have the Hammer Mines the entire time at the flank here, making sure that DAB can't simply move over. They know that Mobsio is waiting for an engage, that he's looking for it. Rated in particular has to be careful here. For Octalysis, this isn't over yet. Try and get 13, but here comes the engage. Rated attacked immediately, nearly being one-shot here as he barely moves out.
DAB putting out so much damage. Justin stepping up quite far. There is the Iron Skin. The engage comes through from Leftovers. They're bloodthirsty. They're looking for buds, and he goes down.
Deckard Kane goes down, but at least Sergeant Hammer and Hanzo were able to escape here. Only by the smallest of margins, though, and they are not done yet. Mobsio anticipating a move to the left, but does not get it. The Stormbolt misses. And an interesting isolation.
This is so terrifying if you are Team Octalysis. Your support is dead. You can't step up very reasonably. Right now, Mobsio needs to do a good job defending against those scatter arrows. This is a huge setup for Leftovers. They could even look to conclude the game with this much health on their Immortal.
Exactly. Mobsio's already sitting at the side, protecting their own Immortal, as we're seeing everyone else getting the damage in. A quick Stormbolt from Mobsio slows Octalysis down. And at least, with the help of Hanzo, they're able to chunk it down to 55%. It's actually amazing how much Hanzo does here.
Yeah.
Hanzo was just able to avert 100% shield Immortal within seconds, but Leftovers are still going to look for that keep now.
Bottom keep wall is experience for Leftovers, and what do we know about experience? They're so close to level 16. That means they're going to have a talent tier advantage with the Immortal pushing in. Leftovers have everything that they need right now to try to find a victory and close out this series.
It's such a dangerous situation for Octalysis. They are setting up right now. Hammer in position. Dreydad is starting to fire in up to the top lane. Dehaka was trying to get some experience, but he's moving in from behind. Goku with the attempt. Nice burrow here, dodging the jet propulsion, but he's still being attacked. Li Ming comes in also with the ult, trying to push him out of position. Goku is still on the run here, and for now he's surviving, as we're seeing the Immortal starting to go for the keep.
The scan comes through, bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Justin is also the focus, getting stunned up. Goku with the drag onto Mobsio, but this is Murden. He's gonna be okay. The Immortal is pushing in. The keep is down. Leftovers want more.
Mobsio with the aggression going in deep once again. Prismaticism at the side is eating the missiles from DAB. The salvo comes through, puts Bud down nearly. Justin is on the run here, but the Immortal is nearly taken out. The core is taking damage, but Octalysis holds.
Nice job by Octalysis to defend under those circumstances. At the same time, these teams are still positioning at each other. Right now, Octalysis, they're getting a little bit greedy here.
Yeah, Leftovers have shown over and over again they are going to turn it around against you, and they still hold that level and talent advantage. They're looking for the opening. They're looking for the kill. They haven't found it yet, but Octalysis is now even thinking about potentially even following and trying to see if they can get a kill themselves here.
They have the Dehaka. They can defend against these catapults. Taking a fight right there, down 2 levels and a talent, would have been an absolutely huge problem. They also have the top lane pushing in. They really didn't need to look for a fight there. I'm really glad that Octalysis did back up.
That Ford is a lot of experience if they can take it. Boss is defending it for now, but at any point they can move in and just secure that experience at the top lane. That's definitely something where Octalysis has an opportunity to get to 16. And to be honest with you, they lost the keep at the bot lane, but once they have 16, it's a chance for them to force an even fight. But talking about forcing fights, Leftovers, they want those before 16 hits.
Here we go. DAB on the backside, he goes down. This is huge for Octalysis. They're fighting back in. Mobsio jumping in at 30% health. Dreydad is so very low, getting those arrows, but the bunker was fantastic.
The bunker is there. Mobsio is moving out. He's not falling. He's dodging everything, at least for now. But the kill against Li Ming definitely hurt the Leftovers. The thought process was clear. Force the fight before level 16, try and jump in, catch them off guard, get those kills, and make sure they will not be able to fight on even talents. But Octalysis, they get the kill, they get the underdog experience, and they're half a level away from getting level 16.
North America hanging on here against Leftovers. Bottom side is the focus right now for Goku. Again, we have to reiterate, Dehaka is so good against being down a keep. So that's not a win condition for the leftovers until they get kills.
Double camps at the top lane too. Someone has to deal with that, and that's Portibos for now. On Blaze, he's pushing it out, but that buys more and more time. And the halftime show has been reached. It's Hanzo that made it possible for Octalysis here. This is the best chance that they had in this entire game to make something happen, but they need to stall it out just a little bit longer for level 16 talent state, and here we go.
Mopsio is looking for a pick. That's what leftovers need. Team Octalysis have all the time in the world at this point.
Once again, Salvo, but this time actually interrupted. Great job here. Lornado also coming out. A camp at the bot lane is a bit of a concern for Octalysis. They will have to deal with it eventually, but the Immortal is already low. Octalysis, they need this one. They cannot afford to give it up.
Mopsio is positioned very well in addition so that Team Octalysis can't push in for free. Lukitny is the focus. The arrow, though, it comes in and whiffs completely. That is a huge playmaking tool for Octalysis, just wasted.
Arrow missing is definitely an issue, and also the Blast Shield did not really do anything. The stuns, the CCs that they have, that they wanted to stack, they're missing. And here now we are seeing leftovers going in again. That Salvo comes through, Bunker in play to negate the damage that comes from Octalysis. Hammer shutting away Prismaticism with all the damage that he can muster, but Mopsio goes deep into the backline. DAB at the side is getting some damage in, but Goku is attempting to hunt him down.
Bottom side is pushing in too. Leftovers have everything right now. Mopsio is pushing in. DAB on the backside of the fight, looking for the resets, gets one kill. Pushing in onto Johanna as well. The spells are whiffing, but leftovers have the pursuit. They're looking for more.
Deckard is down, and so is Hammer. The Stormbolt connects, and they're going for Justin. Once again, Li Ming with the ult here. They're going for Johanna, and she forced the triple kill as the leftovers are walking towards the core.
The roll 20 sprays coming now. Leftovers moving onto this core. 3 dead at this point. Goku trying to stop the wave from pushing in, but it doesn't matter. 60%. Leftovers absolutely destroying North America in this series.
Leftovers going Dradus trying to prevent it. He can't do anything. This is game. This is GG as the Leftovers take the series with a 3-0 against Octalysis.
So very well played by the Leftovers. Man, we have to say, again, they forced fights during the early game against this Hanzo, against this Hammer. They got fast fights. Mopsio leading all of those engagements. They got the Immortals that they needed to get that lead in the early game. That was clean, methodical, only really one misstep by the Leftovers. As far as macro's concerned, this team is impressing me now. I absolutely love these guys.
Leftovers definitely enjoying every single second of it. But we also have to put this into context again. It just shows how much Heroes Heart has improved just from yesterday to today again, that they were able to take them down here earlier today. So pretty well done here by Leftovers, fantastic performance, and that's something that very few people expected when they qualified for the Western Clash. They themselves said, we're here to have fun, we are here to get experience, to make sure that our newer players that have never been at an offline event get to experience what it's like to play on a stage, play in front of a crowd, so that we can, in the future, perform even better. But already, they're having a fantastic run and just reached the top 4.
And I was actually a little bit, not concerned, but I was confused when I had the interview with them, or when we had the interview with them, and we were talking to them about their goals at this tournament, and they were just saying, you know, make it past day 1, kind of grow and learn as a team. But to me, I'm like, wait, you guys just reverse swept Fnatic. That is a monster in the European region, and to be quite frank, like, I think that you guys are really, really good, and I think that confidence is slowly starting to build up in this team.
And we're going to hear, of course, for them as well, as we have once again linked on the analysis desk. We're going to hear more about the series and also what they thought about this 3-0 victory.
That is right. I'm here with Linked from Team Leftovers. Linked, I have to ask you, man, this is a large amount of growth for you this year. You have made it to Championship Sunday. You are playing tomorrow. Has that sunk in for you yet?
I mean, we expected this. No, JK. Yeah, it feels actually amazing. We went from a Crucible team to actually coming here, best NA teams, best European teams.
Yeah.
And we get the top 4 tomorrow. And actually, the BM I did yesterday, I think NA showed up today and actually kicked our ass good.
That is very true, actually. Team Freedom came out, did really well against you guys. How do you bounce back against that and prepare for this matchup that you guys just took, the 3-0 over Octalysis?
I think we did more research on them and just banned their, I guess, the picks like Medivh.
Yeah.
And we played standard against them then, and we showed up to be the better team this time.
Awesome. Over to Tetcher.
So you're moving up against Method next. Do you have any expectations for that? They said they were a little bit concerned facing you as you guys were scrimming back in Europe, so that you might have a little bit more information on them. How are you feeling about that?
Method is gonna be a really tough matchup for us, but I think we will have to bully ADRD's OP picks, and maybe we'll have a good shot.
Okay, and to follow up on that, a lot of people are expecting at this point Dignitas has been the hype team throughout this entire thing, which means if you do take out Method, you might in theory get the rematch against Team Freedom. Do you feel that you have learnt enough from that defeat earlier and the matches you have just had to maybe move up against them and get revenge?
How to answer that question? We didn't respect them enough the first time. Actually, how they played Medivh today was like on another level, and actually, Debbie didn't perform as well, I guess, today. So tomorrow he's gonna step up and carry us.
Linked, we saw in the first two games, it seemed that Octalysis, you guys were battling back and forth non-stop. It seemed like it could have gone either way, but it was both the late game decisions in game 1 and game 2 that kind of turned it for you guys to protect her in game 1, but that huge turnaround fight on Braxis in game 2. When you're in these battles, is it tense up there? Obviously, international experience new for some of the players up here, even coming to North America, new for some players. Does the pressure set in these situations, and how do you guys find some way to turn these games back around?
I mean, I think the second game on Braxis, we had a better late game, so our game plan was just to stall the game to 16. Then I'm gonna start carrying with my 16 roots and my 13 Deckard. But the first game, we actually were ahead, but started throwing. I think the first two games, we threw major leads. We shouldn't make such mistakes.
How impactful and how good does it feel? You landed that route, that stay a while and listen on that top turnaround fight, denying the entry into that bunker. Do you just get super hype? We know Mopsio is. What is your take on it, your personal take when those moments happen?
I mean, I just start screaming, roots, 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 and I'm D'ing everyone, and then Black Itney on Greyman just slashed everyone's faces off.
It was awesome, man. It was great to see. Congratulations.
Thanks. All right, Link, one last question before I let you go. If you are not fans of Leftovers yet, and you should be, hear from Link himself. Why should they cheer for you tomorrow?
Because we're the underdog story.
Well,
that's the most interesting thing.
That's right. Simple and easy. So congratulations to Link and the rest of the Leftovers. They get a solid win over Octalysis today. But that's it here for the Western Clash on Saturday. Day 2 is all finished up. We'll see you beautiful people tomorrow on Championship Sunday.
Zeratul dives it. Zeratul does not dive it. Diablo does, though.
There's no void. Prison, seven-sided strike. Goes down, and Boss is going to get snapped up, but at what cost? ADRD is getting roasted along with the rest of the members of Team Method. That's 2 down. Overpower. Curson is able to dash out afterwards. Athero trying to get the heck out of dodge. The Divine Storm is going to whip, but they still get ill.
Full Method, but that's a big one.
The last time we saw Team Method trying to stop a push, the only thing that stopped was them. They dive in on the back line, Rudy, stun, Illidan. Athero can take his hands off the keyboard with how much lockdown we just saw. Zero's going to get blown up next. Close up, though. The Void couldn't get away. Zeratul is going to end up getting nuked. Trade value at last.
Trade value and absolutely destroyed. We saw that Divine Storm shutting down the Sanctification for the 4th, 5th time. It's something absurd with the isolation to follow it up to completely prevent that. And that is Dignitas moving on to the core.
She Carry can get away.
Linked was the one who was thrown away, kicked away. Now the rest of the team wants to turn on him, but this lets Blakitney get a monstrous Warden's Cage. Purification Self is going to follow that up, though, and the Polybomb is just going back and forth, shared between all of Leftovers. Somehow they are living for a long time, 2-for-1 for Leftovers so far.
Polyboss can continue. Can he turn around with the Jet Potion here? Ooh, Nazis comes over with the Dragon. Polyboss might actually fall. Latano continues to spray out the auto attacks. Link stepping forward, but he's got nothing here. It's only DAB against 3, and he has to escape.
Can't forget about things like Giant Killer coming online for Sergeant Hammer. Suddenly Gul'dan has had a difficult time already. Or Garrosh is still an issue. Big fight happening here in top left corner. Earthquake and Bunker being used. Salvo too, as Nazis jumps in.
Leyland went in. The Salvo starting to pepper in the damage with that taunt. Now Muradin gets the heal back up from the Ancestral. Thought that might be scary with that. Lutano's positioning. Is enough that they get that first kill on Phoenix. They're looking for more. The double stun, the jump on top from Nasmus. Chasing down Mopsio on the right. Chasing down another person on the left. Linked now in danger as he's thrown into the wall. Dodges the the Storm Ball, but it will be all for naught.
Diablo somehow survived there. Method staying in position. They get the containment discount. 70% and falling. Heroes Hearth, can they hold here as Method looks to close it out?
The overpower on the Nick. There's the double pull. Of course, down to 40% and rapidly falling. Can Heroes Hearth do this? Can they stop this push?
There's one.
Two heroes down on the side of Team Method. Oh no, the course at 15 continues to fall. Heroes Hearth Esports have given it all they've got. Can they save this game?
8% falling. Bad Benny's trying to get it. He does not get it. Heroes Hearth has held here. 6%. There's still. Remember this. Got slowed by the keep. That allowed Bad Benny to jump in, land the hammer, and then get the takedown. They wanted that back door, but now they found them in the bush. The self-cleanse has bought time. BBJ, he is on the front line. He wants to die. Salvo's going to be there. Crow, and he does not survive, and Heroes Hearth has fallen.
Keldor, are you excited for some Lava Wave?
Let me put it this way. And you will hear me that say once, so save for the moment. I wouldn't mind Lava Wave on Brexis with Ragnaros here for the first time.
Right on the bottom lane.
Justin already low, but the Hyperion is up again. Stay a while and listen to help them move out. Here comes the Sulfuras. They're going for Murder, but Justin is still fine. The seven-sider comes out, and they're killing against Ragnaros. Ragnaros getting wrecked as we are seeing Goku looking for another drag.
Goku getting stunned up there by Mopsio, flipped over. Justin trying to find more, and the drag lands onto Phoenix. That is a 2-for-0 for Team Octalysis.
Perfect kill against Phoenix, exactly what they needed, but Muradin falls. If they don't take down Phoenix, this could have been a nightmare for Octalysis. It could still backfire as Goku is being attacked here. Blake Kidney jumping on Reina, taking him down. Jimmy is dead, and he's not stopping there. He goes for Kerosene, obliterating the backline of Octalysis and going even for Drayden as we have Blaze falling. Engages. They want these 5-on-5s. Dehaka with a Dragon Temper. Drayden misses it against DAB. Here comes again Deckard Kane. And we see the damage coming out. Hyperion on the other hand forcing leftovers back. And back and forth. Mopsio falls. And he will be back in a few seconds. But his team, and they get the counter kill. They're trying to. The solo. The kills. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all hitting the floor here as Goku is getting chased. Leftovers looking for the team wipe.
Lakitney, absolutely amazing play there, just sitting on the backline. We just talked about it. He kites back the whole time.